Okay, so what I want to show you in this video is kind of the quick way to not only create questions for quizzes or exams or any other kind of assignment, but how to also quickly upload them into Canvas as the LMS. Um, Blackboard and other learning management systems have a similar workflow. I'm going to show you the one that works for me in Canvas. So I did this very simple prompt. I would like some quiz questions based off of this slide deck. You can upload as many as you would like. I would like 10 multiple choice and 10 short answer questions. I use Canvas as my LMS, so I'll eventually need a file that I can easily upload to Canvas to save me time from copying and pasting questions and answers. And so here's the draft. It gives me 10 multiple choice and 10 short answer. The reason why I ask for 10 at a time is because often I don't really like all 10, especially if I'm working in ChatGPT that I don't use a lot. I'm primarily a Claude user. Um, but you can do this with every single one. This is again, every large language model choice is just totally what you're comfortable with. I want to show you ChatGPT because most of you are probably using ChatGPT. Here is the question to give you some context. This is my diabetes part one, which covers disease process and comorbidities. So here are the four options. Here's the correct answer. If there are any of these that you just really don't like, you can communicate with it and say, I like questions 5 through 8, but want to replace 1 through 4. And you can just go back and forth. And maybe it's not the question that you don't like. Maybe it's the actual answers. Maybe you're really big into all the above or any of the or none of the above questions. Maybe you want an A through E or an A through C. Maybe you want some true false. You can just communicate what you want as long as the same question types are within Canvas, you will be good to go. Here are the short answer. One other thing I want to add is that you can do the same thing with short answer questions. Here are some of the key points. If you wanted this embedded in the grading notes, you can also ask for that specifically. I don't like to do that, but that's just one other option if you want that easily imported. And so I just assume that this was good. Of course, if I'm actually using this, I'm going to check it. I'm going to verify. I'm going to go through the back and forth of making sure that the questions are valuable and that they are true to the content. But okay, so this looks great. Give me the instructions on how to upload to Canvas. And so what we're looking for is this QTI file. Once you click it, you're going to see it in your downloads. Mine shows right here. And then it's going to give you the steps. Settings, import content, content type, QTI zip file. We'll choose the file, and you can put it under a default question bank or under an existing question bank. If you're someone who maybe wants to get 1,000 questions for whatever reason, and then you want to create quizzes that randomly pulls from 20 or 30 of them, you can also do that here. But okay. And so one question that a lot of people have, depending on which Canvas version you have, it may default to new quizzes or a classic quizzes. What this workflow works for is for classic quizzes. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in just a second. So here is a Canvas page. What you're going to do is you're going to go to your settings. You're going to go to import. You're going to go to QTI zip file. You're essentially following the instructions that I gave you. I'm going to browse and upload. You can choose a question bank. You can create a new one, or if you want to put it as part of an exam section, you can do that. The one thing that you do have to do is you have to turn off this convert content to a new quizzes. So I'm going to go ahead and just do another testy test bank. I'm going to add this to my queue. You can see that I already did this, so it's duplicate, but I just want to show you in real time what this looks like. This doesn't take very long at all to run. Very good, good to go. Let's go to quizzes. What you're going to see, sorry, I'm going to delete the duplicate so you don't get confused, that you're going to see it's going to come in as unhighlighted, where essentially means it's coming in as a classic quiz, and most of you probably want to work in new quizzes. So that is easily migrated into the new format by clicking that button. It's going to create a duplicate file, but it's going to be in the new quizzes format instead of the classic quizzes format. In case you were unfamiliar with the differences, this is what the editing of the classic quizzes looks like. You essentially have to go in kind of question by question. You can click to see the question details. If you like it like this, that's perfectly fine. This just isn't as visually appealing to me as the new quizzes format. But here is when you can also just double check um, some of the questions and answers to make sure that they are appropriate for what you want. And here, it even included some of the general answer comments as part of the grading notes. So this would typically show up as student feedback. So you can remove this if you wanted to. Okay, so we're still waiting for it to convert so I can show you the differences. What this really does for us is it helps us save time from copying and pasting a bunch of questions all at once. And it's also a way for, if you're working like in ChatGPT projects, for the rest of the project to know what some of your quiz questions are in later modules. This will take as long as it wants. The good thing is that we can go ahead and double check that all the answers are correct. DM is best described as a chronic metabolic disorder characterized by elevated blood glucose levels. Gold standard for diagnostic measures, A1C. What is the actual cutoff for A1C for DM? 6.5. Which pancreatic cell type produces insulin? The beta cells. Again, all of this looks good so far. The acute complication that is associated with ketoacidosis, DKA. Name one of the chronic complications. I would probably do an all the above question here, retinopathy, nephropathy, and neuropathy. I would add those. And you can do with that however you see fit. And take its sweet time over there. While we're here and waiting, I'll just go ahead and show you some of the other exams that I built kind of using this format. This is what the new quizzes format looks like. I think it's a lot more aesthetically pleasing. I like having the settings, the moderate or the moderate sections here. It's just an alternative way that Canvas likes to show its quiz types. But again, here you can see all of this, all of my multiple choice questions. This was an AI generated case study. These are all great. I'm going to go ahead and go to my editing of the short answer questions. And this didn't include grade notes. This is something that I'm going to have to go back in and do because I didn't ask for it like I did with the other one. But I hate to say it's that simple, but it really is. This part kind of takes a little bit sometimes. But here is your quick workflow. We're going to do the back and forth in the large language model to get the questions that we want. We're going to ask it to give us that QTI file. We're going to go to our settings, import course content. Make sure we click on that QTI file, that we're unclicking new quizzes, and that we just choose the file that was downloaded, import it to the queue, make sure that it's converted properly, and then we migrate it, if you wish, to the new format. But that's the quick run through. If you have any questions, just give me a holler.